Hey there, gamers! Gonna do another Wii game today. It's more of a recent one. This is Glacier 2 on the Nintendo Wii. This is developed by Team 6 and published by Zoo Publishing. Zoo Publishing's kind of had a fairly mixed record of good, many games that are at the very least are okay or somewhat good, and a lot of games that I guess you could consider shovelware. This does support the Wii Wheel, but you don't need to use the Wii Wheel. Now, as I said, the name is called Glacier 2. There was a Glacier 1. It was released only on PCs back in around 2005, and I think you actually can download it. It's available in English, I think, download probably from Team 6's website or something. Either way, they developed Glacier 2 just last year. It was released just last year, about October or so. You might be able to find it like Targets for like 15 or Best Buy for like 20. You know, it's... Well, anyway, here's the base story. Apparently, Glacier 1 had a disastrous end, and the Richer Than Rich Club is I guess, it's a club for a bunch of rich people, and they still want to gamble. And pretty much the idea is the Glacier tournament is they send all these cars up, with these drivers to the top of the Alps, I believe, and pretty much all these vehicles are fitted with weapons and everything like that. And the idea is pretty much whoever survives and gets to the bottom of the Alps first wins. They get a giant cash prize, and the Richer Than Rich Club's members, they bet on the racers. So there's not much. I mean, options, you just have the volume switches and you have play. Now, yeah, you see you have 18 courses. That's not a bad amount. I mean, this is point A to point B. It's not laps or anything. I've done most of it. Now you have easy, medium, hard. If you beat it on easy, you get a bronze cup. You do it on medium, you get a silver. And if you do it on hard, you get a gold cup. This is a kind of game where I honestly have to say, it's not bad. I mean, there's a lot to like about it. See, this one I did on easy, that one I did on hard. And with 18 stages, you think, oh, that's pretty good. The main problem, though, is... I'll just get to it. Let's do Arctic Iceberg. Anyway, so let me just go over the vehicles really fast. So you have the Bartolino 500. It pretty much has a machine gun on its top. The B2 Type X, which has a freaking howitzer. It's my favorite. The Feralt, which has machine guns of its own. Bugster, which has a minigun. The Triangle X2, which has double shotguns. The Brute, which is again another variation of a machine gun, and the Ultome R-Type, which is kind of like a rapid rocket launcher. Every weapon has its own specific weapon and a special type of missiles, as well as the ability to drop mines. You have to pick up power-ups pretty much. There's also a boost that you can activate by using the B trigger. Now, pretty much you hold this like in a racing game. You hold the Wiimote sideways and you do tilt steering. 2 button accelerates, 1 button slows down and reverses. A is your horn, minus pauses. As I said, the B trigger is your boost, might take a little bit to get used to. Left on the D-pad is your left weapon, which is your specific weapon for each vehicle. Down is your mines, and as you see, right is the missiles. So there you go. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of red. I missed that one. Controls are pretty good. I mean, the graphics, probably not much better than a PS2. I'll be honest. It's not much of a looker, but it's a budget game in a sense. You can kind of tell. But this is one of those games, it's like, it's simple gameplay, but it does it so well. It's that simple, visceral kind of gameplay, If you can't, and I'll say, aside from like the first stage, the AI is actually not bad. This is medium, and it's not exactly an easy game. But I mean, that's the thing, like, if you can't beat them, and there I go. I don't die automatically. If you get blown up, though, you're out of the race. On the bottom left, you see, you have the top meter, which is your health, and which you can heal with certain power-ups, like here comes one right now, I'll pick that up. And underneath that is your boost, and here's one of the big problems right now. Oh well. As you can see right there, here's the end already. It's like, wait a minute, that's like less than a minute. That's one of the biggest problems. You have 18 courses, but they're all pretty short. I think the longest ones are just maybe a little less than 2 minutes, but that's the longest ones, and the shortest ones are... Oh, oops, me abort. Because I've already beaten the game, so I'll just show a different course. And the shortest ones can be maybe just a little over 40 seconds. There's such short stages. Another problem is, like as I showed here with Arctic Iceberg, you have this stage, then you have tight tension and lesser Fahrenheit. The problem, though, is if you look, Arctic Race 3, 4, and 5, they link together to make one giant course. That's how it is with a lot of these. I believe also Downfall goes off of that also. Then you have, I believe, 7, 8, and 9 combine together. 10 and 11 do. 12, 13, 14 link together. 15 and 16 are a bit of a rip-off because they're just courses 1 and 2 done backwards. And then obviously 17 and 18 link together in some way. Not exactly, but similarly. So that's one of the biggest problems with this. I mean, the gameplay is simple, but it's fun. But the problem, and the music, it works for the type of game that it is. I mean, it's techno, but it works. The controls are, work nicely. The graphics, a little lesser, but they're not bad. But, as I said, there's 18 courses, but none of them are that long. Not to mention that there's so many of them where they kind of link together. Yeah, I don't know why they just didn't make them, one big course instead of splitting up one big course into 3 sections. I don't know why. So as you see, there's already power-ups, which meant this is pretty much where Stage 4 ends. So now I have some missiles, so I'll fire up some missiles. Yeah, some cars have, I believe, homing. Some have, the kind I have right now, so grab that. There's a mine there. And see, now I can drop mines in the middle of the course. Let's fire up some more missiles. And that's pretty much, that's one of the nice things about this game. No, okay. But, that's pretty much one of the nice things. If you can't beat them, in a race, you just blow the hell out of them. You can just blow them up, and then you'll be the only one left to win. I mean, it's one of those it's like a visceral enjoyment. It's definitely a fun game, and I think the biggest problem, though, as I said, aside from the fact that the courses are short and, see, one vehicle got destroyed, not even by my hand. But, okay, no, the enemy does spawn. You don't spawn, but the enemy does respawn, I guess. But generally, if you destroy them, you get so much of a lead, it doesn't matter. But the tracks are done fairly nicely. As I said, there's a lot of good things to it, but there's so much to it that's also bad. That it's only a few flaws. There's short tracks. They're done more in sections, and the biggest problem, there's no multiplayer. This is a single-player game only. So pretty much once you've been in the game, unless you want to go back and redo the tracks in hard mode to get all gold cups, for every course, you're pretty much done after you've been in the game. I mean, in that sense, for 15, 20 bucks, it's not bad. I mean, it's definitely better than, a lot of the other games, those, like, really unknown games for the Wii. But, the lack of multiplayer is, like, the really thing that really hurts it. Really, if they were to make a, let me just do this so I can get in medium. But pretty much, if they were to do a Glacier 3, all they would really need is pretty much longer tracks. Pretty much try to keep the same amount of tracks. 18 is a nice amount. But make them all longer. Maybe at least 2 minutes, at most maybe 3 minutes. And maybe even adding the ability to customize your car so you can choose which weapons you want to have. And the biggest one, add in multiplayer. You give 2 to 4 players, split screen or whatever. Maybe even try to get online in there. And I would definitely recommend this game. As is right now, Glacier 2, I'd say, if you want to, it's not bad. I mean, especially for the price, 15, 20 bucks, it's not bad. It's definitely fun, but it's almost like it just needs a little bit more to become like the game it can truly be. I just wanted to show this off.